Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about fine-grained password policies. Um, let's get right at it. So, what is the purpose of fine-grained passwords? Well, let's answer that question. The purpose is to be able to have multiple password policies in a single domain, i.e., for example, information technology would have a stricter password policy versus everybody else that would have a domain that is given by the GPO, which would be the default domain policy. When should you apply fine-grained password policies? You should apply fine-grained policies when security is the utmost importance. So what I mean by that is, what I'm saying by that is, like, say information technology, for example, you have a group named information technology. You would want those people to have a stricter password policy than the rest of the people in your domain. For example, say marketing would not need as strict as password policy as information technology, or your administrative people, you would want to have them to have a stricter password policies. Typically, those are the type of people that you would want to have a stricter password policy compared to the rest of the organization. And typically, you would have them all in the same domain, so that way you would give certain groups stricter password policies. Can fine-grained password policies be applied to OUs? No, they can only be applied to global security groups. They cannot be applied to organizational units. They're only applied to security groups, and we'll see here why in a few moments. So I want to go over the history of fine-grained password policies. Fine-grained password policies were done through what's called ADC edit and LDIFDE. And then you would look for the password settings container. Then you would follow the settings and would need to enter everything correctly and precisely. Even the seconds. I remember even doing the seconds before with this, and it was very confusing for most people and very tedious. Before 2008, if you wanted different password policies, you pretty much had to have different domains. That was the only way that you could really go about doing different password policies. In 2008, R2, it was, you had to set like the days, and like, if I remember correctly, it was like 24 colon 0 colon 0 colon 0 colon. You had to go that degree of detail to make sure everything was correct. And if I remember correctly, it was for like 24 days or something like that. And you had to set each one like that. Thankfully, Microsoft has changed that, so now that you can just go, basically, you'll see it here in a second here, but basically you just put in what you want, and you don't have to put in 24 colon 00 colon 00 colon 00 colon or 00 will be the last one. So it was very detailed oriented, and you could make password policies and stuff stricter that way, and not have everybody have the same kind of password policies. So Now, I'm sure you guys want to do this the easy way, so let's go ahead and we'll show you the easy way by using Active Directory Administrator Center. I also want to mention part of this, and this was also in 2008 R2 as well. Precedence comes into effect when you have multiple password policies in place. Basically, the lower the integer will determine the policy if the member belongs to more than one group. So let's say you have multiple password policies. For example, let's call one marketing and one information technology. Let's say a person belongs to both of those groups for whatever reason. I'm not sure why there'd be a person in marketing and information technology. There might be several reasons for that. But anyways, if that person is in the same groups, typically, in this instance, information technology would probably have like a 2 instead of a 3. Like marketing will probably be 3. Also, I want to say that a rule of thumb is what I remember when I first started doing this, is never set anything to 1. You always want to set it to like 2 and above. I can't remember the exact reasoning for that right now. Maybe one of my viewers out there can remind me why you do that. And I think that's because you don't want to, if I remember correctly, it could be because like if you have more than one group set at 1, it's just going to create issues for you, if I remember correctly. So I think that's something along those lines, so that way you have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think there was another reason for it though too. It's not coming to my mind right now. But let's go ahead and let's get started here. I'm gonna pull this out of the way. Alright, so as you see we're in this the server here. This is a 2016 server, and we're going to go to Tools and Active Directory Administrator Center. And as soon as this boots up, well, I'll show you how to get this going here. Alright, as you see here, it comes up with a totally different screen here. Now, there's an arrow right beside your domain here. My domain is pblairit.local. So go ahead and click on this arrow, and a pop-up should come up. And then when that pop-up comes up, go down to System, and then System will come up with another pop up, and there you want to click on Password Settings Container. And then over here in the right hand column here, you want to click on New, and then double click Password Settings. Now this is where fine-grained password policies will come into play. We'll give this one a name of we're going to name this one Accounting. So this will be for the users in accounting. And I'm going to give this a precedence of 2. I'm going to change the password length to 8. I'm going to change this. That's going to be a really long time. Let's change this to 12. And then I want to change the password age to 90, because it's not, I don't feel like it's a critical. Now if it was a critical like IT or admin, administrator. I don't want to use administrator, but administrative or executive type assistant, executive members of your organization, then you would want to probably have that like at 30. I'm going to enforce the lockout policy. This is just one of the things I love about you can do that in here. So I'm going to change this to 5. 5 attempts. And we'll leave this as default here. Then I'm going to go down here and add. Then we're going to look up accounting. Click on check names. It found it. And now accounting's added. So now you have the name accounting. And now you have the security group accounting. You're going to click OK. And bam. You got your security, you got your fine grained password policy set. So let's go test it here. The user is called John Doe. He is in the accounting group here. I'm just going to purposely fail this 5 times just to show you here. And I am on the client here that I'm doing this to, as you can see. Bam. It instantly took into effect. After 5 times, we tried that. And it's already locked out. And this person can't log in at all. It'll go through this and it won't allow it to go through. It'll say the reference account is locked out. And we can change that too. Alright, so as you can see, I'm going to switch over to the server now and unlock that user. So let's go to Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers. Let's go ahead and click on Properties for John Doe. Let's see here, let's go to Account. This account is currently locked out on the Active Directory Domain Controller. We're going to say Apply. And then we'll go back to the client machine. And now I will enter the correct password. And bam, he's in. So now if I didn't go in there and manually unlock that user, let's say for some reason the administrator or whoever can unlock accounts is not available, like IT help desk or something along those lines. What would happen is in that precedence where you seen, if we go back to that server, it said 30 minutes in that server. So after 30 minutes, that person could go back into the into their computer, the same client machine, and they will be able to log in without any assistance from IT or the administrator. That's one feature I really like, especially if you're a smaller organization and something happens that's going on with IT and there is no one available. At least that person can at least get back in. Now you can change that time to anything you want. So if we want to go back in here, you can take a look at this. We can see what the password policy settings are, and I can show you what we have them set again. But as you guys can see, it's a relatively simple process now compared to when you had to do this in 2008 R2. It was much more difficult to do compared to what you have to do it now. I'm just going to click on this. This is a kind of like a little shortcut that they give you, and you can see that accounting is still there, and you could have multiple fine-grained password policy settings here. In fact, I would encourage it, actually. I would say for your executive members of your organizations, you should have one for that. You should definitely have one for your IT group. And I would say anyone that has to do with anything with finances in your company too. Other than that, like say people like in marketing, for example, or let's say you got regular everyday users, like customer service, for example. I don't think that those kind of people would need like special type of passwords. That's what I think of this as fine-grained password policies. These are kind of like special circumstances where you want tougher security for certain groups in your organization. So like customer service, they don't really need anything special. If you had like users that were working out in the field, but they still need access to the computer, and access to computer domain shares and stuff like that, just to put in their daily records, for example, they wouldn't need one either. These are more for like higher level type of employees that you would want to set these up for. If you got any questions or concerns or comments, please ask me in the comment section below. Also, if you want to subscribe to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, and I will keep on trying to make more and more videos. I think some of my upcoming projects, what I want to work on is to show for demonstration. I think one will be definitely adding a site and then showing the replication of like two sites. So let's say you have a site in Toronto and you have a site in Florida, for example. You could take those two sites and replicate between the two of them and then make that also. Another, when I get a chance, another one would be to build a VPN. That one is very intriguing to me. And then the next one I really want to focus on, because it has a lot to do with single sign-on servers and stuff like that, and I really want to go and show you guys how to do that. I will say I am not a programmer, so I might have to figure out a way to show how I can do the single sign-on type process. Typically it involves a programmer when you're doing the single sign-on type stuff. But a Federation server gives you the ability to do a single sign-on for people, just sign in once instead of signing into like 10 different sites on your site, for example. That has been a really common thing to do now, is have single sign-on. So those are 3 that I have right now. If you guys have anything that you would like me to show you or work on or anything like that, let me know in the comments sections as well. And I will look into it and see how plausible that is to do in a short 20-minute video. Thanks, and have a good day.